Hey guys, this is Spanky Hayes, and I want to say something, whether it's comedy, acting, or just in general real life. I use my A game. I gotta have the A game. I pack it in every pocket. I got one pill in every pocket, and every pair of pants I got. Listen, entertaining y'all is hard sometimes. I gotta fly to Dallas, then to Denver, then to New York, then to LA, then to Detroit. Come on, man. That tires me out. I just take the A game now. I don't have that problem no more. I usually barely don't sleep because I'm entertaining y'all. I'm in the studio all night with the A game. And trust me, when I come home from the studio, my woman gets to feel the real pleasure of the A game. You see, I'm smiling. Watch this. Hey, baby.
Hey, babe.
Guess what I just took?
What?
A game, A game, A game, A game. I'm gonna meet you upstairs, all right?
Oh, okay.
I want to say salute to A-Game Nation, mad love to the A-Game family, and I want to welcome you guys back to another 5-minute Firewatch report. And as usual, you can like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell for future videos. And I want to welcome the new and old subscribers back to another one. So now you see the title. It's part 2 of my last video dealing with the power of your motto. So in military terms, let's just break this down. A motto is a maxim adopted as an expression of the guiding principle of a person, organization, or city, or a sentence, phrase, or word expressing the spirit or purpose of a person, organization, city, etc. Now, why is that important? When it comes to saying who you are as a man, that deals with your reputation, what you stand on. And there's two life values, that opposing life values that you can fly as your banner, your flag. We already know with the 10 life values on one side, and then you have the lost value system. So when it comes down to it, in the Marine Corps, we had this thing which goes into esprit de corps. Now, esprit de corps is the common spirit existing in the members of a group and inspiring enthusiasm, devotion, and strong regard for the honor of our group, of the group. Now, with that, as you see with my dog tags, this leaves little to no question as to not just who I am, what I stand for. When I became a Marine and when I left, as far as my end of active service, I'm still a Marine. There's standards that I hold for myself in representing myself. Out in the street, I meet fellow veterans, either whatever, regardless of branch or where they came from the station. In a casual conversation, you can tell, you think sparking things up and see where they're at. There's some veterans I know who are going through some things, or just wellness checks automatically see what they're about. Some you can't because either they're disconnected from themselves or whatever have you. In regards, I tend to offer that initial respect because of them earning not just their title, but in respect to their respective experiences and level of growth or lack thereof. So when it comes to esprit de corps, how this applies to this space and beyond, I'm dealing with us. It goes back to the spirit of brotherhood. We're supposed to speak life into each other, motivate each other, encourage each other, not just by actions, words, and intent, but working in concert, being consistently, being a repository of information, dealing with the things that are not only in the Black man's report card, but worrying about that man's mental well-being, state of mind, presence of mind. In my line of business, I go around and talk to other brothers in passing or just in general. And it's amazing the power of a conversation. Some guys, even now, don't have anything to believe in. So their motto ends up being something contrary to what they should be. So by example, I want to show you SOS. masculine energy in relationships and all branches. When you have system, order, and structure, it keeps everything fluid. As you see with the order, we go by the numbers, both in the service and out of it. That keeps every guy around you and under that banner on point. With the structures, you help maintain those pillars of influence, because even though they need help at times, it's secular. We go in a circle and help each other. That maintains the system, keeps us all in point as men, not just online, but off. But then there's the other side of it. You got things like esprit de bitch, and this is my own personal creation. Esprit de bitch is a debilitating spirit of rugged individualism, the obstruction of masculine growth, development standards, and morale. Toxic doses of anti-masculine representation and expressions. You can take it for what you will. However, go by the numbers again. When this is present, it takes a whole different energy and representation. The SOS here becomes sassy, obstinate, stagnant. That's on the micro scale. On the macro, we're talking about selfish, slaves to objectification, saboteurs. When you apply SOS under the lost value system, it's actually set in motion for corruption, but it always starts internally. The thing is, when you're pursuing external exploits to cover for that spiritual bankruptcy, you're built to be destroyed. It's only a matter of time. Time that's not invested correctly, it's wasted. But see, on a grander scale, we look at this. When you have SOS properly done, when you're not out here panhandling for panties or pissing and moaning about what women are doing all day, every day. When you're executing in your divine order and you find women who are about their role, you can achieve fulfillment. But see, when you're in the lost value system, it turns everything on its head. Instead of provision, your insight, you always sit there looking at negative. That's why it's subject in corruption. You refuse to look at yourself. Take that inner working, that homework, and fixing the interior. You can't look at yourself. You're always using the external to cover yourself. When it comes to problem solving, when you're on a lost value system, you nest in the nonsense, as we've seen in many years. When it comes to instead of protection, you're talking about instead, you need to change the definition of beauty to vanity, lovers of your image, or the illusion of your image. So you got guys out here doing selfies. You got guys out here embarrassing themselves and looking for attention, whoring themselves out for the camera and much less. Instead of constructive procreation, you guys have pregnant or problem. You got a whole heap of guys who are pregnant with problems. They don't execute the 4 P's correctly. So every time there's a problem, they exacerbate it with their stagnation and their unwillingness to self-correct, more importantly. Instead of order, you get chaos, which is self-explanatory. Instead of executing leadership, you got guys who submit to bullshit narratives and talking points. When you got selflessness as what we are designed to do as men, you got selfishness, rugged individualism. All these loose cannons out here going out for self, giving the middle finger to brothers who need help and assistance in all different areas. And they'll even go low enough to basically extort money for spitting in your face. When we talk about the polygamy part, that's talking about the management of multiple women, more or less, but a lot of individuals not built for that. What you see on the lost value system, they're talking about hypergamy, not hypergamy, hypergamy, not looking for the best suitable candidate to procreate with and pass on things. You got the whole pump and dump movement, fornication without foresight, and you see the damage that's wrought. Instead of using their inner strength, you got guys who are prostitutes for power. And the last thing, when it comes to instead of creating culture, you got Negroes out here kicking the can. When it comes to accountability dodgeball, that's what you saw at the end of not just Sheep Stay Sleeps podcast, but a myriad other brothers who sit there and hold brothers' feet to the fire to deal with the issues we have, especially with the Black Manosphere report card. Shout out to Dr. Holman for creating that and this system. You got guys who will offer a lot of pushback, pissing and moaning, hiding behind paper mache mask of masculinity instead of standing on things and principles. So in closing, the power of your motto is one of the definitive factors between being an effective leader versus an educated lame. And what side you choose to stand on, what creed and model you use to follow, will not just follow your actions, but it will represent where you stand in your daily life in every every facet. So that's something you need to marinate on as men. This space has men who are looking to help brothers. If you're talking about things as far as fraternity, you can talk to brothers like LAR Movement and a myriad of others. You got guys like the Style OG, who's always doing things about getting a man's appearance and his dwelling right and other aspects of the 10 life values. Not to say he's a part of it, but in many ways, it's not that far from it. There are many resources that we can use to our disposal. But however, it all depends on what you're looking to do to either sustain yourself within the 10 life values or destroy yourself with the lost value system. With that being said, salute to you guys for giving me your time. You already know the deal. Never allow your comfort zone to become your coffin. Simplify. Peace.